Happy fucking Thursday, City Beautiful. I'm Jed Nico, your friendly neighborhood Filipino. This is the Blacklist Society live podcast. This is your one-stop shop for music, art,
One-stop shop.
entrepreneurship, etc. My mission is to connect, encourage, and empower the community by showcasing some of our dopest musicians, artists, entrepreneurs. And I hope that when you get done watching this, you go back, you start to cultivate and nurture your own creative outlet. Because I believe that the journey of creative expression will positively impact our community. So we are here, another episode in the making. I'm very fucking happy to introduce my brother,
What's going on, hermano?
Nabu Flynn.
Nabu Flynn, the Psychedelic Kowboy.
If
Live and what they say, live and indirect. You know what I'm saying? From the you know what I'm saying, Steakhouse Vibes, you know.
I'm really happy to have you on. It's taken a while,
Yeah.
but let me ask you this.
I know I wasn't that cool enough. You know what I'm saying? He had to make me wait, you know, have me sweating. Like, oh, he's like, I'm like, oh, so I don't get to be on yet?
Mm-mm.
It had like a slew of people, which is hilarious. But no,
Not
no,
even.
I already know.
Not even. Let me ask you this.
What's up?
If you could come up with one word that describes how you're feeling today overall, what would that be?
How I'm feeling?
Yeah.
Oh man, it's a mixed bag, man. I'm definitely feeling different type
One
of
word.
ways.
One word. You can't dip now.
Yeah, well, it was hard to put one feeling on the feelings. You know what I'm saying? But overall, I can say well, and well in is I've understand where my body, my mind, and my soul is at. So I'm well. They're at a calm, calm waters.
Well, talk to me about that. That's pretty exciting. You said you're well in the sense where you're balanced in mind, body, and soul. Is that
Mm-hmm.
what you said? Balance?
Mm-hmm.
That's
It,
dope.
it's like
That's a hard place to be in.
yeah,
Balance.
because you tend to be drifting off to what hurts and what you have to do, what's needed to be done. But I just understand it's just a path. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we all have to climb our mountains, but who says the climb can't be enjoyable?
Absolutely.
Saying from a person that works more than I should, I don't let that affect any sense of like urgency or puts me in a stress because I put things in a way to where I've been reading it's like doing at your own pace.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You like your pace will not be someone else's pace when you try to keep up with someone else's pace. Sometimes you can do it, but sometimes you just like I don't know. I don't know where he finds it. You know what I'm saying? So you just have to find your cue, your lane. And my lane has that like rabbit in the hair, rabbit in the tortoise. I mean,
You've always had a good way of like creating your lane.
that's how. Yeah, because honestly, man, who's gonna have more fun than you in your own shit? I never really, I looked at a lot of people and having good times and whatnot, and I just look at them like, well, I can do that, but in my own way.
You
Like,
know what? If there's one thing I could tell the audience, if they know you or don't know you, is one thing that I know for sure about Nabu Flynn is that you just genuinely like to have a good time.
oh yeah,
And it's like good vibes when you have a good time.
mm-hmm.
Well, for the audience, let's backtrack it. Let's take it to the Genesis story. So I remember meeting you in high school. You're another fellow colonial grenadier.
Grenadier.
And I think we met in it was a junior year.
Yes, it was the end of junior year.
So that was 2006.
Yep.
So that means 14 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I think, my really first impression was I remember seeing you at the bench press, throwing up weight. At first, you were more to yourself. You know what I'm saying? You were definitely more to yourself kind of guy, closed off. And my second impression of you was when we would run track. I just remember you could fucking move.
Yeah.
Like, bro, you stayed lapping me. And I was like, yo, this guy throws up mad weight on the bench press and he could fucking jog. And then, do you remember how we actually first met?
It was the cleans. Yeah, he's seen me working out, just doing some cleans, and I'll never forget. You had that towel, you know what I'm saying? So you
Tell him
upset-
about that. Tell him what we used to do with the towels.
like I don't know. I felt like Nico just had he just kept sweating profusely on anything he did, but not because it was just like that was just the thing because that was his thing. He'll always like wipe the towel like that was Nico's like adding them. So yeah, I was outside and bam, teacher had me boom boom Porter plate, homework. But either way, he came up with his white tie. He was like, "So I seen how you were doing this cleans. You doing it a different way. You know what I'm saying?" So I showed him the step way because you know I came from Osceola. Shouts out to the Cowboys.
Hey.
That's my bread and butter right there. But came and brought a style over, showed him, and made it easier for him to clean it. And then boom, bam, beam. Stories, laughter, and here we are, 14 years later.
Some of my favorite stories involve Fridays because what we used to do, as good colonial high school students would do, is on Fridays, whenever we get paid, we go cop a gram of the loudest herb we can find on
Hmm.
Fridays. It was like a thing. It was like a ritual.
Yeah.
Like, yo, it's Friday.
Uh huh.
We gonna cop a gram. And it was funny because in high school, like, a gram was everything.
Graham, yeah, I didn't even know.
Now, now everybody out here copping like ounces for 170.
It did change, right? But I think like
We got spoiled.
I think it
We
like
got spoiled. That's what it was.
I think with like with time, you just change your like amount, and you just like, why would I just buy a fucking ton bag? You're not catching me fucking buying a dub anymore.
But you know what's funny too about back in that day, high school, for anybody who went to high school from like 2006 ish, graduated '07 around that era, but you could still find good Reggies in high school.
Fucking Reggie's.
Reggie's was good back in, like, I remember you
Don't
would
fucking
find
don't
purple
talk,
Reggies.
Don't fucking talk to me about Reggie's.
Now it's like Bobby Brown. It's like it's got mildew on it.
Oh, then you had the great part of like. Then I was like, oh, this ain't Reggie's. This is Zona. This is the step down from Piff. Step down from Piff. A step up from Reggie's.
Yo,
So
this is Zona, so I'm gonna have to charge you at least $20 more
you know
for
what I'm
that
saying?
quarter.
Like it's crazy because they all looked green. Like you knew it was
No, but
that's
it,
that Zona. You get that 3 for the 10. You know what I'm saying? Big fucking dump bags.
listen, I had the worst Reggies in Jacksonville. Like, listen, I had some Reggies that made me cry.
Them shits were plaster, huh?
Bro, I smoked it and I just felt depressed immediately. I was like, I shed a tear, that gangster tear from one eye.
I've noticed like the more like, and this is funny because like at one point you get this like crazy like weed like you just fuck it. I just need it because back in the day it was like you just grab what
What you could.
and like then you grab something that's like, oh, how can I describe it? Like almost like brick form. You know what I'm saying? To where when you're breaking it up, it doesn't break up. It breaks up in like
It's
fucking
dust.
and fucking layers. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like it breaks up in layers. And then it's like tough. It's almost like a burnt brownie that
Yeah.
doesn't want to bite over. And then it has all these black seeds all covered in there. Like
That was the worst. Like when you would smoke and you would pop a seed.
and then let alone you roll a blunt with a seed in a group in a cipher. Like, oh, this nigga don't know how to roll. We fucking you
Yeah.
can't take no fucking seed out.
Yeah, whoever rolled the blunt was responsible for moving all the seeds. Let me ask you this. So we met then.
Mm-hmm.
It actually hit me, bro. I think I have smoked the most with you out of anybody else on the earth that I currently know.
No. Lies.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. No, currently. Yeah, like between you and Six Shooter, shout outs to Six Shooter. You guys I have known the longest and smoked with. And in that time, we used to freestyle a lot.
Yeah.
Hotbox crew, HBC, our original high school crew.
Mm-hmm.
Is that when you started rapping, or like what's your relationship with rap and hip hop? When did you start
Really
your journey?
honestly, when I was a jet, what I'm saying, with me and Logos, we will make we had the ability, when I've got a computer in the house,
Yeah.
Me and Logos, we were looking and say, what can you do with the computer? Then we're like, we can record ourselves.
Shout out to Logos.
You know what I'm saying?
Logos the God.
You know what I'm saying? And we were like, okay, so like we learned that we can record. So we're like, okay, look, let's make our own CD with our own mix, but us as like, like we're doing right here.
So how old do you think you were when this started?
Geez, man. I think we were like, what, 12, 11?
So
maybe,
12, 11.
if I'm right.
You started what?
Yeah, we're right.
Taking it to the. So
we
you
were young.
you were already opening
were-
computers and laying down vocals
We were-
around that time.
We were young guys, man. That's all I can say is the era of the young guys right there, man.
Yeah.
So we went in there, then like boom. From there, then we're like, all right, what if you beatbox and we write some music, and then boom, bam, beam, and like music was always with me because I was in a band and whatnot. But really, freestyling, it was just a thing to do.
What'd you play?
I played the tuba,
I think I remember that.
Not ashamed of it.
That's dope. Yeah, you used to whip that thing around.
What? Sousaphone vibes, man. Let me tell you right now, though. When them niggas said, when they
Nabu
said,
Flynn fans don't know about the tuba days.
no, when they said, oh, we're gonna take this tuba and we're gonna march, that's where I said, nah, I'm good. I'm gonna be real.
He said, I'm gonna pace.
and
I'm
then
gonna pace it.
look,
I'm gonna
look,
pace
look,
it.
look, look. On top of learning the music, now you got to remember steps. So I got to remember steps and music. And then now, third, on top of that, cherry on top, I have to pay for this equipment. Oh, it's not free on y'all no more? Because this will be mine, so I'll just be lugging a tuba around for all my life? Nah, I'm good.
You know, see. I had a direction for this, but just listening to you talk, I have to bring this up.
What's up?
Do you remember the white Beamer?
Of course.
So that was my first car. We used to whip around in a white Beamer and get stoned as fuck.
Yeah, the back of your driver's seat, the back used to always come off.
Yeah, for some goddamn reason, right?
He's like, nah, don't worry, he just does that.
I kept always thinking like, yo, that's where like the weight will go. That's where we could put the pounds in. But like, I remember this story. We were in the Beamer, bro. And Nabu Flynn back in the day used to love playing chop and screw music.
That's my shit.
Nigga,
From the South, bro.
my man used to play chop and screw music like it was nobody's business. And I remember I personally went a little too far with the smoke that day. I went too far. And so I'm listening to Joe Ball, a bitch, and I was like, oh no, change it.
He's like, I can't do it.
Back in the day, there was two things I couldn't listen to when I was too stoned. I couldn't listen to chop and screw music if I was too stoned, and I couldn't listen to reggaeton if I was too, because it was like the. I was, oh man, make it stop. I need to listen to a story, which we listened to a lot of Nas back then. I used to listen to a lot of Nas back then. What was your musical influences?
All rock.
All rock.
I was a heavy Limp Bizkit
Let's
fan.
go.
Limp Bizkit, Korn,
Okay.
Godsmack, like those were the bands that you caught me listening
Nice.
to, and then
Nice.
of course, as later years, like classic rock really found me. Then the grunge kings, Nirvana, and
Shout out to Nirvana.
and my the Doors. When I really found them, I really found my lane of work.
You got a Doors tattoo, right?
Yes, I do on my triceps. To give a sense.
So you got an old flavor of music as your
Yeah,
foundation.
I'm all about
that was your foundation,
yo,
right there.
like CCR, man, like Jimi Hendrix, like it was all rock for me, man. Like rappers, like I wouldn't tell you really there was like any rappers that I really got into unless like Logos put me on. To
Okay.
be real with you.
Okay.
You feel me? So I was just all into the rock, you know what I'm saying? I'm listening to Linkin Park, you know what I'm saying? Sum 41. I'm in here because it was mostly because I love the energy of a rock band. There was something about it because being in a band, you feel the live.
Right.
You feel that whole.
What made you not want to become a rock star then?
I mean, I am a rock star.
Well,
A rock star is defined by many ways, my good sir.
absolutely. Well, okay, let me rephrase that because I appreciate you bringing that up. What made you choose the path of the lyrical flow over hip hop and rap genre versus making like a rock song or like a classic rock or a modern rock type vibe?
I don't know. It really is with the times,
Okay.
If it was back then when I was learning the bass and I was really getting into it and I stayed in that lane of just learning the bass and continue on instead of doing other things, then maybe there were a possibility I would have made a band. But where the era caught me is that, it's been around me. I mean, we freestyling, rap. It's not like, me, I like to write. That's my shit. I wrote a lot. Like I wrote a book when I was in high school, like a little, like, it was like 10 or 11 chapters.
Do you like to write with or without music? Like when you're writing a rhyme and you're constructing a song, is it just you and silence at first, like planning it out, or do you pick a beat?
It's where the intention. I mean,
Okay.
I could do both. You know what I'm saying? But if I felt like, it'll beat find me, like a beat will find me, then boom, I'm on the fucking tear. You know what I'm saying? Or I could just be sitting there walking.
So either or.
Yeah, I could be, you know what I'm saying, putting a couple lyrics. I'm like, that shit goes nice. I got to save that for later. So put that in the bank. You know what I'm saying?
Your bars are out of this world, literally, though. Like your name itself, Nabu Flynn, is fucking out of this world. But the bars are out of this world.
Thank you.
There's some things that like are straight out of a comic book. Where you get your inspiration from for these bars?
I get it from what I like. Like it's one of those things too. That's why rap for me, like you gotta keep a presence. Like what are you coming out to do? You gonna be that conscious guy? You gonna be what's your quill?
Gotcha.
And for me, like I couldn't really find a lane. All I can just remember, just being like, I don't know, I like to write on like what's on my mind, you know what I'm saying? And then logos and you give me the confidence, be like, just spit that shit, man. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying? Because there's other like minded people. Because I fucking watch, I'm nerd shit, man. DC, Marvel, you know what I'm saying? I watch Star Wars,
favorite
like shows.
DC character.
DC character.
Yeah,
My favorite DC character in general, it would be sorry one, but it's Nightwing.
Nightwing.
Yeah, Nightwing.
We need a Nightwing movie.
Yeah, yeah, I can definitely agree. You
Okay,
know,
so that's your favorite DC character. If Nabu Flynn was this DC character forever, who would you choose to be? You can never change. It's just like, hey, this is you forever.
well, Doctor Fate.
Okay. Why
Yeah.
is that?
Oh man, it's in the name itself. That's Nabu, right? The Great Nabu.
Hey,
That's why I have it tattooed on my chest. The Great Nabu, because that it's just something mystical and like special about the power that you don't know. And I've understand what I have, and through the years, and I took the training and took the focus to get it done. My way.
I
You
could
know.
definitely say that.
You,
Like out of like knowing you this many years, you have been an individual to do the work on yourself. You've always been conscious and seeking for awareness. I mean, even in the name conspiracy of awareness,
yeah, shouts out.
you've
Us
definitely,
against them always. You
you
know
know
the
what I'm
motto.
saying? And it's like
Hmm.
you've always been that individual, but you've always been an individual of character. And this is something for the Nabu Flynn fans to actually hear this out, though. I remember when I made a transition after high school, I got kicked out of college. I was running in the streets doing crazy ass shit. And it's like I changed my life up and I joined ministry school and lost mad friends, bro.
He's
Like
gonna talk about the walk.
people stopped hitting me up. People stopped. And bro, I was out here doing full time ministry, like praying, fasting, doing prayer walks. And I did. I called you up and I was like, or you called me. You was checking up on me. Either do you and then
Look, oh, okay. So it was. I was just getting out of work from Before Brady's over there, and you caught me at the store. I believe it was like a Walgreens. It was
okay, so
right
we
there.
bumped into each
We
other.
actually bumped into each other, and you're like, "Yeah, I'm actually doing a walk from here to Orlando, boom, bam, beam." And we got to talking, we got to catching up. I was like, "Yo, we caught," and then I was like, "I haven't seen you in a while," so I'm like, I just got off work, so fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Let's do it. So my whole mind, it was just like, I'm gonna go as long as you're gonna go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Cause solidarity, man. I'm not gonna, like I walk 10 minutes. All right, guy, I'm done. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, let's do this. We're gonna walk Orlando, and I can say I walked Orlando. It's a fucking achievement.
Hell
So
yeah.
fuck it. I can do knock, stones off bucket list that I didn't have. You know, but to me is, if a friend asks you to do something, you got the time. You got time to be a friend. Be a friend.
But
You know
that
what
was
I'm saying?
dope. That was dope to me. That okay. So for the audience, we did a prayer walk around the radius of Orlando. It was like 40 to 80 miles long, and we broke
Yo,
it up into days.
we went from the airport to fucking Apopka Vineland Road.
Okay, so if you're from Orlando, from Cimarron, the airport, that by Lee Vista Starbucks to Apopka Vineland Road, that's gangsta as fuck.
What?
But what I want to bring that story up is to say that when I changed my life and I wasn't in the streets no more, like you still remained a friend. You actually did walk with me, and I appreciate that because it
Anytime.
was like, you know what I'm saying? Like you proved that, like, yo, if I'm your friend, I'm your friend. And from that point on, it's like, yo, this is like my brother. And now we're here. We went from freestyling to I think the best place is to see when did you say I want to do music as a career, and when did it shift gears and you
Um,
started making moves? Because I remember you started performing early on. When did you make the decision like, yo, I gotta do this?
um, it all started. Okay, so it all started with me and Logos. With the T Pain Auto Tune app. He's like, "Yo, I got this app." You know what
On
I'm
the
saying?
phone?
On the phone, on the dusty old iPhone, the original OG. He goes, "Yo, I got this app." And boom, we're just fucking around, and then we fucking around making tracks just because we like to make tracks. Lo and behold, I get into, and write circles to get, I can, download the program. Someone can teach me how to download a program. And I was like, yo, Logos, I got this program. We can make beats. So automatically, like the laptop kind of gravitated towards Logos. And he's like, don't worry, I'll take it from here. So I would go to work, and I'll come in the room, and I'll see him in the closet, just like hood down with the laptop, and he goes,
Going
"Yo."
in.
So at this time too, I'll be writing and whatnot, because that's just what we do. And then he'll be like, "Here, I got this beat, man." Boom. And I was like, "I got these lyrics, bro." And then we're like, "Okay, so what we got to do? We got to we're looking at each other like, what we got to do?" I was like, "All right, we got to record this." So we looked around, we didn't have no mic. So boom. So we realized that we had to get piece by piece. You know what I'm saying? So boom, we got everything ready to go. We record the jam, and then we play it back, and we're like, we're fucking nice. You know what I'm saying? Like we're
Yo,
pretty.
he was feeling yourself. He was
Of
like,
course,
yo.
like give a fuck what anybody said about that track.
Yeah.
That's Hall
I
of Fame.
remember you playing it for me.
You know what I'm saying? Fucking mothership, man.
I
You know what I'm
remember you
saying?
playing it for me because after you did that walk with me, there was a point in time where we drifted off. And when I come back, I remember you was in West Coast Florida in Homosassa. You had put on some music. I was like, "Oh shit!" Like my man's got music. And then you showed me pictures of you performing. So tell me about your first performance days with Logos.
Oh man, it was good. So we
Like how that happened. I know you was part of like a program or some shit. Like tell the audience that way they can get a picture of what it was like performing music back before Corona.
well, honestly, like I said, it was all for just self endeavor. Like, okay, we got our own tracks on our own CD. We got people who heard our own tracks. Let's perform our song on stage.
So you already completed a CD, and then you said, well, "Let's perform this,"
Yeah.
or did you have multiple CDs done?
No, it was just us making songs. Like it wasn't like an objective to make tapes. We just loved making music, and we
Yeah.
just loved hearing ourselves, do our own characters.
So who found the first performance?
Oh, I did. I got a song. I was just looking around, just fucking around, and I'm like, I found this thing. I was like, yo, we can. It's like a contest, like a battle of the bands. What was it? Coast to Coast. Shouts out to Coast to Coast.
What this was
Um,
back when you saw it online, or how does that work?
I online just surfing. And I was like, they got a reasonable price for us to perform our song, and then the chance to do this, da 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 da. Fuck it. And just give it the feel. Saying like, boom, like we performed a song that we made on stage, and niggas was feeling it.
It was back when you had the dreads.
Yeah, yeah. No. When I performed my song, I just when the dreads were cut.
Really?
Yeah.
I remember seeing you with long hair on a performance, bro.
Nah,
Come on.
no.
Am I wrong about this?
No. I had my cut. I had a cut. I had a cut because I was coming from Hosassa.
So what kind of hair did you have when you were performing?
I had a Caesar.
Maybe maybe Logos had the hair.
Logos had the hair that time.
Y'all swapped on them.
No, that usually happens. I don't know. It just works. It just works like that.
Tell me about your first performance.
It was.
How'd you feel? What song did you perform?
We performed God Fearing. It was just like a real conscious song.
Drop a line from it.
Uh,
Your favorite line from God Fearing.
Fuck, got me on the spot. So in the fucking bank right now. But once I hear the beat, I was like, the way he enters, like, "You a God fearing man," senator, and then he just like, "You're such a strange phrase," yeah. Um, within my oh man, you got me on the spot. I can't do it right now.
It was a dope ass flow.
No, it was. What I'm saying, that was a version of abstract of Nabu. You know what I'm saying?
That was like when you were first like formulating Nabu
Yeah,
Flynn.
yeah. Honestly, I was really on some like, because Logos will always be like, "Hey, you ever heard of Zygus?" And I was like, "No." watch."
Zeitgeist?
Yeah, Zeitgeist. I was like, "No." He's like, "Watch this." And anytime he does that,
Yo, that is some shit he would say. Yo, I love it.
yeah,
I love it.
no, but he knows anytime he sends me off on the road, I go down the rabbit hole to it. So I go to the deep. He's like, "Here, take that and just go with it." And then the boom, I'll come back with questions like, "Okay, now you know. Okay, so now we can talk further." It's like, here's the next level. It's like, it's two. Check that out.
Now there's
So-
a context for the dialogue.
Yeah. So I was at like my whole thing, like watching movies in a different perspective, especially that movie by John Carpenter, They Live, with Roddy Piper.
Okay.
Which also Logos put me on. So that actually inspired a lot of my music earlier back in the day. Really like putting people on, like just beyond more than what you see.
I noticed that like even early on, you were one of the first to put like movie clips into your song, like little sound, like dope ass sound bits, and a lot of your content. That's what I liked about your content too. It was so Like there's not another song that I could be like, yo, that sounds like a Nabu Flynn song. Like you're talking about like cinema type shit.
No, because I draw a lot of energy from my movies, man.
But I
Like,
love that, like because like the music scene can be so drowned out with the same shit.
yeah,
Like there's at least five things. If you turn on any music hip hop song right now, you'll hear on it. It's either you're gonna hear about money, you're gonna hear about his hoes, you're gonna hear about some jewels, you're gonna hear about his cars
Mhm.
and what kind of gun he has.
That's yeah.
And it's amazing that you were able to serve up and create your own genre that was completely not about that.
Hmm.
It was genuine. People related to it because you talked about like things like Peaky Blinders, or you would talk about um, think like it's like some Rick and Morty type stuff. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? People would understand and vibe with that. It was so refreshing.
yeah.
That was refreshing.
I appreciate it, man. It's one of those things where, like I said, that's me, man. Like if I'm gonna come out we had this thing, me and Lil Gus, like if we're coming out with anything we do is us original. Like this, you can hear my lyrics in my songs today and back then, and I was talking about what I am doing. There's nothing far from it. No, there's not anything fictional or anything I would say. It's just really that's who I am.
Is who you are in the moment. Is relative to what's going on. We went from there to you're sitting on. Before we get into your most recent project, Steakhouse Vibes, Volume One.
Shouts out.
So you've come from this
Rolling
long
off.
journey, bro,
Yeah.
of writing, early days, 13 years old with logos on a computer, freestyling, continuous writing, performing. Now you're sitting on your first Spotify release. Before we get jump into what that project is, what it meant, what's your advice to young artists out there, probably on the same journey as you? Um, what's your advice to make that big transition into like, yo, we out there on Spotify, we making moves, we're mobilizing. What's your advice for the artists to get them on track?
Consistency. If you want to do something, you follow through with it. If you say you're gonna do it, then keep doing it. Nobody says you have to do it fast. You know what I'm saying? And there's also a thing where you shouldn't do it slow because then you'll miss opportunities that are laid over.
Why you think you haven't had that phase where you fizzled out? Because you'll see some artists like, yo, I'm gonna do this, and then they ease off the brakes, and the project turns into something that never really happened. But they got it on their phone recorded.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you meet
Why do you think artists lose steam like that?
because it gets hard.
Life happens.
That's what it is. Oh, I met a lot of people. No knock them, you know what I'm saying? Life does get at you, you know what I'm saying? That's what life is. It ain't supposed to be easy, especially
Hmm.
something that you want to do and something that you inspire to do.
That's why we do music, because it's not easy.
Like you think this is easy, making a living and doing this on the side because this has to take up priority if you want to make it right.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things of being consistent is like you got to just keep finding your way. Find it, make it work. Like I can say,
Mm.
make it work.
Just fucking make it work, people.
No. It's like if you like,
If you're stuck and confused right now, that's the word of the day. Make it work.
if it's not working out, switch it out. Switch something out. You got to find a slot. Find a slot. You can continuously work on that one thing. You can't be like, okay, I'll work on this one day, then next week I'll catch it. No, dedicate a day, dedicate an hour, dedicate 10 minutes. But you
That's what I
have to.
fucking love about you too, bro. You're like consistent. Like I've seen you like on ups, like highs and lows, but like whether it was a high or a low, you could tell you were extremely focused on moving on to the next thing.
Because I'm
You were
playing.
always focused on making the move. Like I remember you. This is a perfect segue into Steakhouse Vibes, but I remember you plotting Steakhouse Vibes. That's why it's such a good feeling, like to know that Steakhouse Vibes Volume One is out streaming on all platforms right now.
All platforms.
I got to see you plot and scheme, like put this on Tommy Kid's whiteboard. Tell us the early days of whiteboarding Steakhouse Vibes, because you painted a masterpiece. It's a story of an album. Tell us about this.
uh,
What is the origin story of Steakhouse Vibes?
origin story of Steakhouse Vibes. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Let's go down here. It's just my love for my
Yo, he's
Uh,
blushing.
yeah, yeah,
My
because
man's
you know
blushing
what?
right
Because you
now.
know what? It's a true thing. You know, I love strippers, and this is a homage to a certain strip club that I go to. Shouts out to Rachel's. You know what I'm saying? And really, the tape came about is that I really just wanted to make something special for one of the chicks that was there. You know what I'm saying? She was like it was like almost like a regular type of thing. You know what I'm saying?
My man
So
was putting game on the strippers. He's like, yo, let me make this song
nah, it wasn't
for
even let
you.
me make this song. It was just like they gave me such a great time. Like
You want to encapsulate that moment.
and that's how like I'm not really good at expressing myself like sometimes verbally. I like to write it out and express it so it, like that feeling doesn't linger on me. You
That's a
feel
hell of
me?
a way of expressing your feelings.
Well, yeah, and then what I'm saying, I was like, you know
I
what?
love it.
And then I was like, you know what? I wanted to do something special for her birthday. I was like, yo, I want to make this like bomb boom beam. I made this song about you. And then boom bam beam like it's just from there from one to like having a great time with one to having a great time with many. So that's what it just sparked. Like I just like my way to thank them. Like thank you for the great time because they motivated me and inspired me in a way that only they could. You know what I'm
Shorty
saying?
got me thinking about it all the time.
Ah,
Yo, I remember when you laid that down in Studio 18, like it was like the embryo version
mm-hmm.
to where it is right now. Yo, there's major
For
vibes
sure.
on stage. My man said, "Oh, there's major vibes on Steakhouse Vibes." No pun intended.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about like making that beat with Tommy Kid. Production by Tommy Kid. How did you even like describe to him like, yo, these are the vibes that I want to do?
Well, it was
Where'd the sound palette come from?
it was really like out of the norm of what I normally do.
Talk to me.
As we were doing tracks and he had this track. I was like, "Yo, Tom Kid, I made this track," and then he's like, when he heard it was a smooth, he's like, "Oh, smoother John, oh, okay, like something new."
So you came with a verse.
Yeah, because I don't really do like soft songs. I like it's just not my thing. Like if I'm gonna be on a track, like I want to get hype. That's like I'm gonna drop. I was
Did he
never.
tailor the beat for that, or did the beat
No,
already
I
pre-exist?
wrote to it.
Okay,
I
gotcha,
just
gotcha,
he had
gotcha.
a beat already layered, and I just wrote to it, and it just happens to so fit the way it did. I was like,
Absolutely.
so this is me coming out of my shell, like
Yeah.
expressing myself to a female that I like I can't say the words in front, but here's this song because this is how I feel, and I can't really say it in person because when I see you, I'm like, oh, goodbye. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm
Yeah.
like lost of words because your beauty takes me. You know what I'm saying? Goddesses, all of them.
It was definitely a different sound from you. It had like that up north Biggie vibe, it was
Hmm.
real smooth vibe, and it was like my man on his seductive type shit out here.
Jaguar. You know what I'm saying? Jaguar.
And that song was super dope, but by now everybody knows one time, two time.
Yes, sir.
Music video out right now.
Oh yeah.
Maverick Productions. Shout outs to Mav.
Mav, man, you know what I'm saying? He did his thing on it, man.
Talk to us about one time, two time.
Out of all the songs on the track, on the album Steakhouse Vibes, one time for the two time was actually like the hypest one. One comes close is Romanoff. So it's just like and then it's the only feature, so it
This is
kind
Kissimmee's anthem though.
of
You know, I can't tell you how many times I've bumped this song windows down and just thinking to myself, this is Kissimmee's anthem.
Yeah, man. It's just for home, man. And that's one thing that me and Logos, this is our home, man. We've been here. We make great connections. Like this is where it went down. This is where I took my first DMT hit.
Shout outs to the Av.
You know what I'm saying? LSD hit. You know what I'm saying? Like my first time tripping has been in my hometown, Kissimmee.
That's wild. I did pick up my first type of acid from Kissimmee.
You know what I'm saying? Like so, we got to do one for the city.
You shot one time, two time on the Kissimmee Trail Bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Looked fucking amazing. You know, I remember that day. So it was like, and we were chopping up about making this music video, bro, like for a long time. And we got Mav out there, and we took some shots in front of the Beamer, you and Logos. And I remember Mav was looking. He's like, "Yo, we got to get up there." And it was one of those things that just happened in the moment. Like if we didn't move forward and never did that idea, that would have never been a real
Would have
shot.
been
But to
lost.
me, like seeing that shot of like us on the Kissimmee Trail Bridge to jam into your first single, bro, that's still like that makes me feel like really good, bro.
Yeah,
Like I'm really proud of
I
that.
appreciate it, man.
And anybody from Central Florida, Kissimmee to Orlando should be proud of that. Like to see Kissimmee out on a music video like that
You know,
is fucking wild, bro.
good times, man. It's good times, man. Honestly, man, it's all
It's
great
bugged
times.
out. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
as much as it looks, man, it's all of us having a great time, man. I'm having a great time, man. Like,
It
all
shows. It shows.
all the work hours and all the times that I miss and everything like this, like, moments like this and that video, like, really shows, like, when this, this is what it's worth it because this is what I enjoy doing and this is what I do, you know.
Do you think we'll see another music video off of Steakhouse Vibes Volume 1?
Uh,
Or are you going to transition into the new project?
it's all in the feel, because I do want to do one
Maybe a
nice,
visualizer?
like a nice sexy one, for Romanoff. It's short and sweet.
That would be
That's all.
love.
That's always in the books. That's always in the blueprint. But
Now, when you say short, you mean like a skit version?
it could be, just to give it a little taste. Maybe like me, like, I'm in the booth, like writing. We're in the studio, and then I just daydream, like, I just go off, and I'm like, damn, and y'all niggas snap me out, like, hey, wake out of it, like back at it, just a little, boom.
Last time I checked, it was like at like around 8K streams or up, streaming up.
Yeah, we're getting close to 10 because it's at 9,000 and some change right now.
And it's wild because it's like from seeing it storyboarded to like seeing a Spotify thing, like yo, this local Kissimmee rap artist, it's got 9,000 and counting streams, and from dope ass places too, like the UK,
Canada,
yeah, Peru,
Germany. Yeah, man.
yo, Germany. Like Germany is the a lot of people don't know this, but for artists out there who are trying to like promote your stuff, Germany is actually the #2 music market.
Mm.
So the fact that you got listeners out there, like, and people like are listening out there, man, that's fucking amazing, bro.
Yeah,
So
man.
I'm very proud of you for that, man.
It's really them, man. This is just, I mean, it wouldn't be nothing without them, So, I appreciate the listens from anybody. I appreciate, because it took some work. What I'm saying, I did have to go into the lab and I did have to sharpen some things and come right. I mean, this wasn't born. What I'm saying, I made this like with my hands. Like I got the skill. Like I took the time and I found a way.
I want to talk about the release of Steakhouse Vibes Volume 1.
Mm-hmm.
So it was you, me, Tommy, Logos.
We had a live session.
We had Snips.
Yeah, Raul Duke.
Um,
We had Ralph in there too.
we had the Red Ninja out there.
Yep.
Shout outs to the Red Ninja. Shout outs to DJ Snips.
it.
But bro, like that release night, like it was filled with such good vibes, bro. Like it was a celebration. Like we were here in the studio, we put it on live. Like we had DMT hits out of fucking this big ass
man.
bamboo, bro. This shit was like a transformer gun, bro. Like
just thinking about it.
yo, I remember the Red Ninja put me on to this thing, bro. He made me take 3 goddamn hits, man. Like I remember, like
You're
on
fucking gone.
on the second one, I tried to pass it to him. He's like, "Nah, man, finish that shit." I appreciate that too. I appreciate that too because
He
I
said, "Yo,
took that
finish
last
that."
hit, bro, and I swear to God, I remember seeing like a nimbus cloud come out of my fucking mouth, and I just shot through.
That's crazy.
Fucking
The wormhole,
Stargate,
man. The fucking
Stargating,
wormhole,
bro.
man.
Stargating in the release, bro. Like, bro, this is like majestic to me, and I just remember
And
feeling
this is
so
just a Thursday
grateful.
night, guys. A Thursday night.
No, but this was like the Thursday night, like the birth of Nabu
it was
Flynn
like
and the
a
Steakhouse
fucking-
Vibes Volume 1. And I just remember being on DMT so strong in there, bro. The colors were so vivid, bro. So vivid. And I remember getting into this place of just gratitude. Like I was glowing and I was surrounded by beings and I was just sending gratitude. Like, man, thank you. Like, cause I was surrounded by you guys. Like you guys are the gods. Like, and I was like, I was grateful to be in that space, bro. Like
It was great
we
to
had
have
a-
you there, man. It was
we
great to
had
have you
we
there, man.
yeah,
It was
you had
fucking-
some we had some caps. We had some caps.
Yeah, you were passing that around.
Yeah,
Like
we had
fucking
some magic
Tic Tacs,
mushrooms.
Passing that around.
Dude, like I hit the DMT on the peak of a little bit of the mushroom.
And we all had a piece of steak. It was
We
like
had a
almost,
piece of steak.
it was like initiation, like Steakhouse Vibes.
Like,
Yo,
yeah, when it was streaming and we verified that it was streaming, man, that steak was good as fuck too,
we
bro.
all had a bite. You know what I'm saying? That
It
one,
was a moment though, is what I'm trying to say. Like, it wasn't
was-
just like this project itself. Like, you had an experience, you shared it with us on the journey and on the release. You're sharing it with the public now. What some people really want to know is what's good with the Steakhouse Vibes mask. Like, are we gonna see this merch come out? Are the people gonna be able to rep Steakhouse Vibes on the mask? Because the mask go hard, bro. The colors, they're trippy as fuck. Like, you got that deep pink, blue. There's
well,
some green in there.
shouts out, for Tommy Kid and us in the booth. All of us three, making that cover.
That cover
And
goes hard.
yeah, it does. But soon, they'll be able, soon,
Are we gonna
merchandise.
see that?
Oh, of
Will
course.
the public be able to see some mask
We're
out
gonna
there
be
for you
seeing
guys?
some. We're gonna be seeing some. Some new ones. I've been concocting a couple ones.
Hey.
So I know I got a couple of steakhouse ones out there right now, just floating around. Just if you see
I appreciate you
them,
giving me the limited
no worries,
edition.
you know what I'm saying? It's just only right. You
Bro.
know what I'm saying? You're in the one time for the 2 time video part. Come on now.
Listen, if when this man releases the Steakhouse Vibes mask, you need to jump on that shit because my man got the diamond cuts on it. It's comfortable as fuck. It's durable. This shit is clean, bro. This shit is fucking clean.
It's wild, man. It's a great thing. It's look, man. All I can say is I appreciate it, man. It's just right now.
I know you stay moving.
Yeah, that's
I know you stay moving. That's why I appreciate your grind, man. You like you you led the way. You know what I'm saying? You drove the project and it inspired the whole team and inspired Blacklist. Like you're a pillar of Blacklist. You know what I'm saying? Like I look to you and I get the motivation. I'm like, yo, and if any time I feel like doubt, like I look at you and I'm like, yo, he's proven like we could do this.
Look, from the vault themselves, from the vault. You guys get a look at that, Look, he did it nice on the first try. It wasn't even like
You know what I'm saying?
Like I tell him like, yo, that shit's upside down. Like that nigga got it on the first try, You ain't gotta stretch it out now,
Nah, I'm just gonna
Don't stretch
you know
my
what I'm
face
saying?
out. Don't be nice to him.
You know what I'm saying?
You make sure no COVID gets through. But only steakhouse vibes.
I got the limited edition. Like these, yo, come on. This is fresh as fuck, bro. I love it.
Bam. Steakhouse vibes. But yeah, you will see them soon, It's all coming with the jumbo of this new project that I'm working on as well.
Talk to us about the new project.
Well, the new project, Nabu Flynn, the Psychedelic Kowboy, it's really taking
Nabu Flynn, the Psychedelic Kowboy.
Yes, sir.
Where'd that name come from?
It came from EDC weekend.
Let's go. What year?
19, baby.
2019.
You know what I'm saying? We were out there.
My man's first EDC.
Yeah, first EDC. We in there second night.
I would have never made it through EDC if it wasn't for you.
Double socks.
If anybody's looking forward to go to EDC 2021 and you're looking for someone to keep you grounded and solid, you gotta go with Nabu.
But we're gonna take you there though. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna take you
I don't
there.
think I've ever done that much psychedelics in a 3-day span in my life.
Yeah. Well, me, I think because I binged on Dimitri for like a couple nights straight, so I can't before this event. But either way,
You were the only one that there was 2 of you in the whole festival that had DMT.
yeah, me and that fucking ghost lady fucking disappeared in the fucking wind.
I remember it was Rez. It was Rez. Shout out to Rez. It was during a Rez set, and I wasn't smoking weed at the time, so you had rolled it up in a blunt, and I just remember the smell of Deems. The genie is out the bottle when DMT is rolled in a
Smells so
blunt.
good. Smells
The
so good.
genie is out the bottle, and the whole space changes. And it's during a Rez set, and they're having a full blown DMT session. Tell the audience about that.
So boom,
What was that like?
So I came, meeting Snips and the whole crew. I was like, look, guys, you guys got this to the party. I brought Dimitri blunts. They're like, Dimitri blunts. So, boom, bomb beam. We get to smoking the blunts and then Rez, Red Ninja starts getting in there. He caught the pocket, so he's sitting there, he getting a light show. And then after we smoked the blunt, I come around one of the members and I was like, hey man, you weren't smoking the Deems. Like, Dimitri, what's good? He goes, no, you guys are cowboys. You guys are out there. I don't do that out here. And then he's like, yeah, those are probably my Dimitri that you have there. I'm like, what you mean Dimitri? So for the longest time, like the way we've been getting Dimitri's from like this Lex Luthor type of guy that we can never get a hold of him. Like he's like behind the
You have
scenes.
to
Like
be.
I've been trying to get a meeting with this guy for like the longest. So boom, he goes, yeah. So I'm like, wait a minute, you got that? So wait. So I made a connection real quick because Duke supplies me, and this guy supplies Duke. So you're the Mecca. So boom. Long story short, the Mecca, the guy, the guy right there, he said the word cowboys, and I was like psychedelics, like we're out here. And what makes the psychedelic cowboys real unique is the K, within the cowboys to represent where we're from,
Yeah.
Kissimmee. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Kissimmee.
And we love tripping out here, man. Like we are the rebels, man. Like you give us a fucking tab, we're going down. You give us 20, let's rock and roll, man.
So this is where the title stems from. It stems from an amazing time at EDC,
Uh-huh.
DMT blunts, Psychedelic Kowboy's birth.
Yes.
Tell us about this project.
And for me, I wanted to make it to where it was like our own clan, man, like our own identity,
Squad.
like psychedelic cowboys, like everybody in the squad of psychedelic cowboys have taken a trip, like you just don't be in this squad, like you just can't be down with us. You have to take a trip to like DMT, like that's your initiation. If you just don't take a trip of Dimitri, you're just a demigod that stays from outside.
This is crazy talk, but this is really how it is. This is like really how it is. Like the Psychedelic Cowboys all have taken
They will
DMT
all tell you.
trips
They will all tell you.
with the crew.
That's the Vig. That's like that's Vig. Let me stop. Like that's
So
just.
I mean, it's an understatement to
But
say that DMT is involved in the project. How do you think DMT has impacted Psychedelic Cowboys and the direction
oh man,
of the
look,
project?
from Dimitri, from my point of view, it fueled me in a way that I've never thought before because it actually helped me see what almost like a blueprint of what could become of like almost a seed into a flower. Like it gave me lens that I couldn't see before. You know, it,
Different perspective,
yeah, and it
and it's impacted you creatively.
oh man, from the first time to till until we're done to this podcast. You know what I'm saying? Like
Can you agree? Like, I feel like DMT has opened like melody. Like, I feel like certain people who've done DMT like hear like certain different types of melodies. You know what I'm saying? The schemes and the sounds. Like, it's different. It's not like your traditional frequency. Is what I'm saying.
nah, you'll hear the distortion, but you'll hear a constant ring. You hear the constant ringing, almost like you're getting your bell rung. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But Dimitri shuts out. Like God's element. Like it took me to a place to where I can see a vision, and what I'm grateful is that everybody else can see the vision. Like I can see it, but if someone else doesn't see it, is it really gonna go down? You gotta get everybody on the team, and I feel like especially what brought us together was Dimitri.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Because we can understand each other when we say like you just like we know like
And there's also a certain trust. Like, you can't just trip on DMT. Like, to anybody out there like who's taking dives into the psychedelic realms and who are like adventurous in that type of headspace, like you got to trip with people that you trust. And I feel really good about the Cowboys in the sense that it's like, there's a trust in the room. We've fought to keep the air as clear as possible. Like, it's a noble type of table. And so anybody who's out there tripping, like, make sure you're tripping with good quality people. Like Les Brown says, OQP, only quality people in your circle when you're tripping, especially because it's a sacred space,
yeah.
bro. When you're tripping, like, it's a sacred space, and no, you don't want anybody acting
and
stupid.
and that just carried on into the project. So like the songs and the tracks that you will hear from that project is my trips, and just really another version of me, like another true form of it,
How
other
is it different than Steakhouse Vibes?
because the
To
Steakhouse
explain it
Vibes.
to your audience.
To explain it to be honest, like the Steakhouse Vibe was intentionally for Pacific. Like I was doing it for one of the Daydreamer. You know,
Gotcha.
like so it gave it that feel, that nice and smooth. So now,
This was directed to a expression to a shorty,
you know, some
whereas Psychedelic Cowboy is a
expression of myself. Like this is who I am. You know, people always ask and people always wonder where I go on my trips, and it's just a culmination of just me. You
yeah.
know, and what I love about it, it's just so good and it's just real upbeat because I love to be hyped, and I love my music to precede that, and I already know deep down like this tape, a lot of people are gonna dig it. It's another cinema coming your way.
You know what I really love about the expression when you came up with Psychedelic Cowboy was the fact that it described how wild it is out here in Kissimmee, in Central Florida, in Orlando. Like there's a sense of wildness to it. And especially like when you're out here tripping, like you see the world behind the world, which is
Hmm.
what I talk a lot about, like Orlando's underground, like Kissimmee's underground. Like when you're out here tripping and in your city and getting plugged in that type of way,
Yeah,
there's a wildness to it about it. Like just like Cowboys, there's an outlaw vibe to it because we know that psychedelics is very taboo right now,
can't do
and
that,
um
right?
and it's looked like we're looked at like as outlaws because we're experimenting with mind altering substances, and it's like that term psychedelic cowboy captures the whole vibe behind it. You know what I'm saying? It's sad that like that outlaw vibe is there, but it's like it's necessary at the same time. Like if you're a hippie out here and you're experimenting with hallucinogens and psychedelics responsibly, is you're gonna look at like you're crazy.
Yeah.
But as we can see, psychedelics has been very common in our most powerful musical movements,
Hmm.
like back in the 60s when war was going on.
Okay.
We had amazing musical movements and they were filled by like LSD
Of course,
or
Woodstock, man.
what I'm saying,
Yeah.
magic mushrooms.
Hmm.
And I feel like 2020 is the roaring 20s. We're in a time of social injustice. We're in a time of crazy viruses. We're in a time of like big government schemes. But in this time, there's going to be an amazing musical movement which you're a part of, you're a pioneer of, that's coming out with this amazing sound, and it's history repeats itself.
That's what
Here
it
we
does.
are again in another psychedelic renaissance.
I'm,
Shout out to the God Renaissance.
and I'm yes. At one time on a podcast, buy your ticket. You know what I'm saying? Time to leave.
Explain to the audience what the what the buy the ticket take the ride podcast is.
It's really, it's a shoot shit, with opinions from the psychedelic wave, people that have that perspective, that third eye perspective, and it's all around the board. I feel like it's one of those things where we catch up with today's terms and we get into our own trends, and
Renaissance is an amazing host.
hmm
Shout outs
yes,
to the God,
yes,
bro.
yeah, one time for the two.
You brought him into the camp. He's an amazing addition.
Hmm.
Real solid. You guys just recently took a trip up to the Big Apple.
Oh
Tell
yeah,
me about
yeah.
that.
Let me just say, man, the road. My first road trip, it was great. Taking your own whip, it was a different feel. That motivated me to say, look, I want to be going to different cities doing this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I have the means, like that drive. Like, I know what it takes to like get out of the state. Like, no, like you gotta be on the road for 10 hours. All right, I did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I got to take that show and it's 10 hours away,
Nice.
let's do it. You know what I'm saying?
Speak it into existence, man. It's coming, bro.
Yeah,
We're gonna just gonna be doing this in different places, digitally, internationally, cause you fucking enjoy it. You got a plan.
Mm-hmm.
You're always moving forward. You know what I'm saying? With psychedelic cowboys, do you know what the first single is? Like, is that something that we could talk about on this stage?
We can give it a go, right? We can give it a go. Yeah, we can give it a go. Yeah, it was gonna be Wild Ones.
Wild ones.
Yeah, Wild Ones. It's what can I say, man? It's just a fun track.
Who's on your track?
On this track, it's just me right here.
Gotcha.
On this track, but more to it. There will be a surprise with Wild Ones on the tape itself, but we're gonna
What's the vibe?
vibe in. It's
I
like
mean, it's pretty much like self-explanatory. Wild ones. That shit is wild as fuck. It's
like
crunk as fuck.
it's a trip. It's you're on with me on a trip, man. Like it's mostly like you're on a roller coaster and you're just going through me. You're understanding who we are as the psychedelic cowboys as well. Like
The beat is hard as fuck.
yeah, gotta give
Another
a shout out
Tommy
to Tommy
production.
Kid. Yep,
Tommy Kid
Percussion.
production.
You know what I'm saying? The whole tape. Tommy Kid production, of course. You know what I'm saying? He stays with the bangers, man. So.
That shit is heavy. That shit is
Hmm.
heavy. It's got some grit in it. It's
It's a
it's like
really
menacing type deal.
it's that track that like
It's like some real psychedelic
no,
shit,
no, no.
bro.
It's that track to when they hear it, they're like, okay, so we abandoned the steakhouse and we're on what now? You know what I'm saying? Like that big switch, like that good, like, whoa, okay. Now you're taking me somewhere different, So it feels good, man. The
I love
track,
that you have concepts though. Like
mm,
for ladies and gentlemen, whenever you see a Nabu Flynn project, you will see like such a beautiful creative idea. Like I love your concepts behind it, like your transitions, you know what I'm saying, your interludes. Like it's very thoughtful.
mm.
Where'd you get like your planning process? Like,
Oh man, it's just we want to give it life, man. Like we can just put tracks up there and then just be tracks up there. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? But let up and make it feel personal. Like you're on a trip. Like you're here for a show.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? As an entertainer, you're here for a show.
Mm.
Is it physically, verbally?
Mm-hmm.
Like you gotta put it on for them. Like I want to hear that crescendo. I want to hear like
Mm.
okay, what's leading up to that? You know what I'm saying? There's certain songs right now that like, certain intros that, that one person hyping it up right before you get on. Like I remember what was it, 3 6 Mafia, the most known unknown, like they had this track, this intro track that it just like, it wasn't the track, but it's had other tracks, like it got you hyped for the tracks coming up type of deal.
Mm.
And that's what I feel like the intros do. And I'm very animated. Like I like to become another person on, like Dennis Ayahuasca, that was Nabu Flynn Incorporated. You know what I'm saying? Like, like
That's one of your personalities.
yeah, Dennis Ayahuasca. So it gives me opportunity to be, behind the mic as another person other than a rapper, which I love to do. Like
You're like a true producer too, though. Like, you produce the idea, you produce the vision behind it. What's your advice to the young artists out here creating their first album? Like as someone who's you got one under your belt, we got Psychedelic Cowboys coming soon. You've already targeted your single, Wild Ones. What's your advice to artists working on their first album?
on their first
Yeah,
album, put it together.
put it together.
Put a project together and put it out.
Gotcha. What's the advice on putting the project together?
You got to find the pieces.
Gotcha.
It's one of those things because really, once you put out that first one, you're over the hump.
Mm.
That's it.
Yeah.
You know what it takes.
Yeah.
You're not like, okay, I still got to do this. I still got to. No, you put it out. You put the track out. You got it on there. You did the advertising. Now you're there.
It's very tedious, right?
It is. It's a lot of work. Trust me. And that's where people
I
fall off.
appreciate you letting me be part of the process. That was my first time I got to copyright. And it's such tedious. Like I respect anybody who like does music and puts it on platforms because there's processes on processes. It takes time, it takes money, it takes energy, it takes you being fucking vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? So that's an amazing process that I got to see you take the lead on.
No, it was a process, man. And now we know it's done. Now we get into the next one, getting even more excited about this one. Like, okay, we got this one out the belt. Bam! Now we know for this one we're gonna do this and this and this. Consistency.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna come better. Now we're gonna come harder. And that's how it is. And that's just learning too. We're doing this, off the strength. Everything that we learned is off the
Yep.
strength. We're putting it together. If I can give you advice, do everything off the strength, man. Like you just got to do it from here, man. Like
For sure.
you got,
And you got to be around people who want to do it.
that want to
Like this podcast is a product of like our friendship
Mhm.
and like being in proximity to you. Like you got to surround your people. You got to surround yourself with people who want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because bro, especially during the pandemic, I heard of mad people say like, "Yo, I want to work on this thing. I want to do this. I want to do this. Doing this." Surround yourself with people who got momentum.
Mm-hmm. During the pandemic, this is what I worked on. Steakhouse Vibes.
That was so crazy, bro. Like I was like, man, my man dropped the album.
It
Like
was-
when there is a world crisis, my man dropped an album?
But you get, like,
Bro, that's fucking gangster. Like we could like mic drop right there.
like it became a.
My man went for the dream.
It
The
became-
world went to shit and he said, well, fuck it, I'm doing it. Why not?
I have this thing, man.
I love that.
It's just putting yourself out there, man. Like honestly, like it always refers back to me from this movie Troy. You know, when Achilles, when he was there before he went to the big
It's a fucking
battle.
phenomenal movie.
Yes, you know what I'm saying? Shouts out to Brad Pitt. You know, he played that role. You know what I'm saying?
That's the god.
But you know, there was always something that she always said to the mother. Like he had two choices. Like he can stay there, you know, and he can have a family. You know, they'll, you know, be a great dad, and his, you know, his leanings will go down. But you know, soon his name will be forgotten. You know, but if he goes, you know, to this war, he'll be the greatest ever, and he'll be remembered forever. But he won't come back. You know.
Mm.
So I live with those, you know, with that line. So, you know, they're gonna know that Nabu is here. You know what I'm saying? Like I can be gone, but Nabu is still hanging around. Steakhouse Vibe will still be floating around.
Yeah, for sure. It's an
You know,
extension of you. It's out here.
and that's where it's at for me. You know what I'm saying? Like as much as I can leave an impact, you know what I'm saying, that can carry someone forward or inspire,
Mm.
that's what I live for. You know what I'm saying? And that's where Psychedelic Cowboy comes in, you know.
Yeah,
You wanna take a trip. Let's take the ride, you know, buy that
absolutely.
ticket, you know. Yeah, so that's I don't know. I just, you know, I really just had a thought too. Totally forgot that we took a quarter tab of Lucy.
Yeah, no, I definitely feel that tab.
Because I just thought, because my teeth started feeling crazy.
The window.
I'm like,
But I'm glad that we took a quarter tab and nothing like a half,
yeah.
because like I feel like
I don't know. I think
I'm
we
good.
I think we could have did the half. I think we would have been all right.
Nah, I've learned to pace myself, man. Like I can get so much. Never mind.
Psychedelic Cowboy talk.
Psychedelic Cowboy, bro. Like,
No, because I'm like, yo, I'm having this conversation. I'm like, you know, why does my teeth feel like I'm like tripping, man? Like just to, like, it's not. It's just like, hey, hey. And I'm like, what the? And then I'm like, oh, I remember. Now I remember.
I always appreciate you putting me onto the psychedelics, being like an anchor. And I remember you gave me this book by Thich Thach Nhat,
Think Nang Han.
the Pocket,
The pocket, yes.
which is all about breathing. So I appreciate you just being like a psychedelic role model. You pass that on to me, and when you go through psychedelic trips, when I'm in a rough spot, I just remember to like,
focus on your breathing.
even like when you're in the booth, like breathing is so impactful. So I
core.
appreciate you being like a musical like inspiration, a spiritual inspiration, a brother, a friend.
You know it, bro.
Tell these people where they can find you, man.
You can find Nabu Flynn, the Psychedelic Cowboy, Steakhouse Vibes, Volume 1, Spotify, iTunes, all platforms. Music video out. One time for the two. Podcast out.
Hey,
You know, buy the ticket, you know, podcast. We have a lot of things coming.
my man's broadcasting
you
out
know,
here.
And this is just
My man's broadcasting out here.
you know, and that's just the tip of what we got coming on. You know, more will be, you know, with time as we keep shaping up more. But let's just say, yo, phase 3 is in full effect.
Shout out to Phase 3, man. I appreciate you letting me be part of the ride.
Yeah, of course, man.
And I just want to encourage everybody, like I said, follow this guy,
At Nabu
buy the
Flynn.
ticket, take the fucking ride. It's a musical journey. It's a clique that you want to be a part of. It's a true vibe. It's a good vibe. It's a vibe that we need in a time like this. It's a vibe that can encourage you to find that wild side again. You know, in this time,
Bam.
there's nothing wrong with a little bit of outlaw, a little hippie outlaw.
All of it.
You
All of
know,
it.
teeter that line, hippie outlaws.
Hippie outlaws.
I think that's how you could describe it.
Mm.
It's all good fun.
It's all.
It's all for good fun
Look, man.
and great learning. Great learning.
We're putting a name and we're showing a different side of it. You know.
Yeah.
Side that, you know, it's not all what they tell you it is.
Mhm.
You know, we're showing you that the fun times, the wild times, like, look at us. We still have our shit together, do we? Or is this all a dream? Let me stop. But either way, Psychedelic Cowboys.
I know that the people are gonna enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
Go out there, find this shit. You're probably late on some of it. Streaming on all platforms, Spotify, the music videos out there on the YouTube. All the links will be in my man's bio. Dive in. It's some amazing content. It's one of a kind. It's fresh. It's something that we need in a time like this. I appreciate all of you out there. I appreciate Tommy Lee Media Productions out here.
You know what I'm
The
saying?
man behind the keys. He's making this broadcasting possible. Appreciate all his production. Shout out to the whole Blacklist team. Logos the God. Shout out to Chase Prince the God. Shout out to Renaissance. You got DJ Snips
Shouts
out
out,
there.
you know, shouts out
Mav.
for the whole crew, man.
Shout out to Augustine.
you
He's
know,
out there.
They already know the love. You know, say Justice League, man. We're Justice League, but we're Justice League Dark. You know what I mean? Because we all mystical. We got powers.
A lot of great things to come.
We got magical
Check
powers.
out. We'll be announcing these soon. We got the Blacklist masks coming out.
Look.
These are probably gonna be like exclusives that we pass out.
Get them.
And I thought about this really cool idea.
What's
Maybe
up?
we could team up about it. But I was thinking about making these masks, and for everybody who purchases a mask, a part of the proceeds will go to the Dandelion staff that had to go on unemployment because they closed down that famous vegan icon in Orlando. So I was thinking about selling the mask. It's a mask for Orlando. Blacklist Society. It's Orlando's team. It's Orlando's creative hub out here. We're celebrating the arts. We're celebrating musicians. We're celebrating keeping the music fucking alive in the community. So for every mask, you know, I want to put proceeds to that staff out there. But yeah, there's a lot of things to come. Check out the new podcast. Check out the new music coming out. I'll be on the Psychedelic Cowboys on one of the tracks. Check that shit out here. We got a lot of stuff. Logos, the God's going to be dropping. We got Augustine dropping. We'll have me dropping. A lot of good stuff to come.
Look, phase 4. Get ready for the party.
City Beautiful. Wake the fuck up.
Get ready for the party.
Wake the fuck up. Shit's about to go down. And we about to be at the forefront. I fucking love you guys for tuning in.
Boom.
Follow, subscribe, like, share, do all that kind of shit. I fucking love you. Be safe. Be blessed. And most importantly, be you. Peace.
Bam.